Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Post Aareds webinar. We are so glad you took time out of your very busy schedule to attend to this webinar. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Um, on behalf of the entire asset price management team, ably held by the esteemed Group Managing Director, Mr. Rotimi Ojamamoye, and then the UK team, um, ably headed by the UK director, Olabisi Steven, and the team from France, ably held by Pastor Jide Olatinsun. We want to welcome everyone, every single one of you to this Post Aareds webinar. Information is it's key to decision making, and that is why we didn't want to end the discussion. What happens after the discussion? A lot of thoughts were shared during the Aareds, and maybe you were just attending today or you didn't attend the Aareds. It was a global gathering of policymakers and drivers of our economy who gathered together to create a path, a safe and secure path for investments in the real agro-real estate space, especially with respect to the oil palm production. So we didn't want the conversation to just end at Aareds. And by the way, Aareds is Africa Agro-Real Estate Development Summit. So it was first of its kind, massive gathering of personnel, policymakers, investors, developers, and concerned Nigerians and foreigners who are interested in this sector or the subsector. And a lot of things were discussed. We will take the discussion further today. So I encourage you to sit back and listen attentively, get ready to learn, unlearn, and most importantly, take initiatives and decisions. The title of the summit is International Opportunities and Market for African Agro-Real Estate. Market is very, very important because without the market, whatever you produce, you have to either you will waste or you will be traded off the market by those who are going to buy cheaply because you are desperate. But market is very, very important. And I'm sure that it gives you not just confidence, but the assurance that if I go into this sector, there's not going to be glut. There's already a market. Is a huge market for that. So welcome again. And those of you who attended the Aareds, either online or on site, we want to thank you once more for being a part of history with us. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. First things first, we want to introduce something very, very important as part of what Asset Rise is doing, part of our innovation to give you value, to give you more benefits for being with us. And it's called BNPL, or what they call My Asset Vault, or that's buy now, pay later. And the features are coming soon, but we want to intimate you so that when it's ready, you would be the first to grab the opportunity to use it for your advantage. And to do this for us, I'd like to welcome the Chief Operating Officer, Asset Rise Limited, Mr. Dimeji, who is going to be telling us what's up with BNPL. Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Chris. Thank you for the introduction, and I hope you can all hear me. Please let's signify if we can hear me, uh, so that I know that I'm not alone. Can anyone hear me? Please confirm so that I can
We
also
can
move
hear
the
you.
speed.
Everyone is mute. Everyone is muted. It's only me and you on this call that's unmuted, but we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So without wasting our time, just like Mr. Chris said earlier, um, we are introducing something new to the market, and we pride ourselves to be innovators and front runners when it comes to um, not just agro real estate now, but also within the real estate space. And what we are doing is raising the bar and making sure that uh, innovation continues within the real estate space and also within the Nigerian economy. So what we are introducing today, which is going to be it's coming soon, but we want to bring it to you first, our own customers, our own stakeholders, so that you have the first hand information. Then sometime within the next 1 month, we will be launching it big, and by that time, it's not coming to you as a surprise, right? It's called My Asset Vault application. These days in the 21st century, it's all about technology, how you integrate technology with your business, how you make technology a backbone for smoother customer experience and all of that. And we are also not lagging in this respect because we've developed an application currently that is in the pipeline and will be released as soon as possible within the next 30 days. Uh, we have that app available on all across Play Store and Apple Store. So, what does this My Asset Vault? What does it really do? It's a simple, secure mobile platform that empowers Nigerian landlords, especially landowners and estate investors, to maximize the value of their real estate, their real assets, right? It provides access to land ownership. User gain access to integrated ecosystem that combines asset tracking, flexible credit, direct land trading, and pathways to premium home ownership. How this works is simple, but first, let's look at our the vision for this application. We want a Nigeria where every verified landowner can confidently leverage their real assets to live better today and build securely for tomorrow. One of the major challenges we have in Nigeria is that we are not credit ready. In advanced economies, most of the time, people live forward. You can get a car, you have a good mortgage system. There is a good credit rating system that enables individuals to get things done, to get assets, to get properties, and all of that on credit while they repay over a long time. Right? This makes ownership easier and more affordable for people. But in this part of the world, we have not our economy hasn't gotten to the credit space yet. We're moving towards it, and that's why Asset Rise has taken this bold step to not only introduce technology into our operations, but to introduce a technology that would help all landowners to leverage their real assets to live better. And what this does is that My Asset Vault envisions that real estate becomes the foundation of inclusive asset-backed financial freedom for all persons that own real estate across Nigeria and in the nearest future across Africa. Also, to build a trusted community marketplace where landlords can buy and sell directly and efficiently. One of the bottlenecks with real estate is the liquidity. I need quick cash. I have a property that is worth 300 million and I want to make it liquid. I want to liquidate that asset. It sometimes takes time. But what we are saying is that with a trusted community marketplace where you have other investors and other landowners liquidating your real assets become even faster and more efficient. That's one of the purposes for the My Asset Vault. Another one is that you can get everyday upgrades. You want to change your car, you want to get a gadget, you want to get new home appliances, and every other thing. It becomes more accessible through property value, not loans. So you're not taking loans, you're using your property value to access credit, right? And also, we're looking at having an ecosystem where assets continuously work harder while appreciating, generating income, enabling spending, and culminating in full asset ownership. A lot of persons do not want to invest in some kind of real estate because they'll be like, oh, why would I want to tie down my capital? This same capital can help me to do other things, to live life, and all of that. What we are saying with my Asset Vault app is that you can still buy that property, you can still buy that land, and still have access to credit that enables you to continue living your life, to have that gadget, to have that car that you want to buy, while maintaining full ownership of that same asset. What it just means is that your asset keeps working for you while you continue to live your life. And the objectives of this application is number one, to provide transparency, control, and real-time visibility over all your assets. So you have a place, you have an application on your palm where you can see all of your assets, you can see how they are doing, you can see the value of each of those assets, you can see everything that has to do with all of your assets. So you have real-time visibility over all assets. That's number one. Number two is that we want to unlock practical financial flexibility that bridges income and credit without relying on salary based systems or high interest banks, right? So we know that in this part of the world, for you to access credit, you need some sort of huge collateral. You need very or a robust salary that can help you have this that can help you have access to these loans. Also, it comes with high bank interest rates and all of that. But with what we are doing with the My Assets app, we're unlocking practical financial flexibility, right? That does not only help you access what you have, but helps you to also ensure that you have full control of your assets while having access to the other things that you might need. Also, we are reducing barriers to liquidity, like I said earlier, to barriers to upgrades, home ownership, and accessories for asset holders. We are also building a secure, community driven ecosystem where verified landlords trade, shop, and progress towards generational wealth, right? Also, we are creating empowerment loops, own land, track and grow value, access credits and income, then achieve premium housing while you secure legacy. These are the objectives of using the my of creating the My Assets Vault. And why should you use the My Assets Vault? Number one is to turn your property value into practical benefits without loans. So you have a 50 hectares in Palm Ridge phase 8, for example. If you're looking at that value, you're looking at 300 million upwards, right? That's some real capital. What we are saying is that with your property value, you can then have points that qualifies you to get some of our gadgets, appliances, basically anything, lease financing or assets financing, right? Even on the same app where you now have a marketplace, a discount mall that you can buy some of these things from at even a cheaper rate. So we are making sure that you can turn your property value into practical benefits without loan. And the second reason for any smart investor to use the My Asset app is to enjoy a secure, community-driven experience tailored for landlords. right? And the core features of this application is basically real estate, where you have verification and management of land and estate assets. You have assets from various in various parts of the country. You can populate all of your assets on the My Assets Vault. The portfolio management is being done on that same app. You can see, you can verify and manage the status of your land or estate on that app. The second feature, the second core feature is that you have portfolio management, which deals with real time tracking and insights into asset performance. So, for example, your phase five, um, if you're, so phase three, for example, sorry, phase one and two in Ekpe, we started milling. So you can tell, you can see it on the app to say that, oh, phase three, phase two, phase three, and phase one, they are already fruiting, they're already milling. It means that your land in Ekpe with us has appreciated because they have become income producing asset now, currently. So you can see all of those updates, and you can also track the performance of of your assets. You can also get insight into the agro real estate, the residential real estate, and all of the subsectors within the real estate sector, and even agriculture. You can get insight into how they are all performing. Also, like I mentioned earlier, we have the buy now pay later called the BNPL, which gives you asset-backed credit for shopping in our discount mall. So the discount mall is populated with a lot of essential assets and gadgets that you might be interested in. With your asset, your landed property, you can have access to all of this in our discount mall. So you also have the peer-to-peer marketplace, which we call the P2P, direct buying and selling of land among verified landlords. So landlord A wants to liquidate his property in Adodo, and landlord B is looking to increase his portfolio in Adodo. So right there on the application, you can have an exchange of value, one selling and the other person buying. So this is another very important and very critical feature that we are bringing to the market, right? And lastly, but not the least, we are having our home ownership project and empowerment, which gives you access to own premium homes. It means that with your 50 hectares, you can also have access to some loan that can help you purchase any of our premium homes, right? So it's an ecosystem that just gives you all round value from every side. You are buying into Palm Ridge, you are having access to uh, premium homes, you are having access to gadgets that you might want to buy into or buy. You are having access to other assets that you home appliances and all of that that you need to run your day-to-day life and also possibly your business. And before I leave, I would like to let you know that the platform bridges traditional real estate investment with everyday financial tools, turning appreciating land into liquidity, uh, lifestyle upgrades, income streams, and long-term housing security, all in one trusted app. So I would say that you watch out for this app. It's coming out before the end of March. We're going to be announcing it, and it's going to be coming big. And the good thing is that we are giving this opportunity first off to all our landowners, because you are our major stakeholders, and we appreciate what you are doing and what you've done with the Asset Rise family. So we are giving you the opportunity to be the first partaker of this awesome technology that we're bringing into the market. And we hope and we believe that by the time we release this application, it's going to revolutionize the entire real estate space. Uh, so I think at this point, I'm just going to uh, drop the mic and let the webinar continue. If you have any questions, you have any inquiries, you can reach out to the to our phone number. The office phone number will be available to answer any question that you might have concerning the My Asset Vault application. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for listening, Mr. Chris. Please, you can continue. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. That was interesting. So if I have my land with asset rights, when the BNPL is up and running, I can just access any gadget, household appliances, or even the car of my choice. That's interesting. Congratulations to every one of us, both asset rights and our esteemed customers. And thank you so much, everyone, for listening. It's been from one to another. And just in case you are thinking about whether you really bought the right land or the land, or you bought from the right company, Asset Rise is ready to put the stakes down and give you use your land that you bought from Asset Rise, which is now yours anyway, as a collateral for long-term gadgets and electronics and the likes. That's just to tell you how much we are sure of ourselves. Thank you so much, so much. At the areas, you said conversations was one thing was very clear from the conversation that Africa's agro real estate sector is opening up so many doors beyond just our borders, and new ways to give values are up and running. But before we get directly into that, strategic partnership has been one of the hallmark of Asset Rise Limited success stories. And this week, we had an exchange program with one of our very strategic partners. In fact, the #1 research institute in Nigeria, that is the NIFO, Nigeria Institute for Oil Palm Research. The entire management team visited and to get experience, updates, information, education, learning on learning. So, and we would like to get you in on a little brief of that experience. And to do this, there's no other person I'd like to call on the esteemed Group Managing Director, Asset Rise Limited, Mr. Rotimi Ojamamoye, to give us a tip of the iceberg of what happened at NIFO. Thank you, sir. We are anxious to hear you.
You are doing agro-real estate. So it is nothing new from the ordinary, right? But then Asset Rise has gone a further step to structure agro-real estate so that you and I can divest easily, profitably, more securely. Because if I ask today, how many of us have gone to the farm? How many of us know how to harvest the palm tree? Not many of us can do that.
Okay.
Whenever anyone comes to you, okay. Let's even look at agri-business. You are always scared because you are.
Thank you, media, for this video.
You don't have experience.
So let's watch this, and
you also do not have. You also do not
probably get to hear the GMD speak.
Time to carry out or to practice this business successfully. Okay? So, Asset Rise has made sure that structure, security be put in place to make sure that you can diversify.
Sorry for that mix-up. We are having issues with the video. We will get it done and probably get it across to you. But in the absence of the group managing director, I'd like the CEO to just give us an update of what went on in NIFO. Just give us a little of the experience. Just share that with us. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chris. Thank you for the opportunity again. Okay, so like Mr. Chris earlier said, can we hear me, please? Please, I'd like to confirm if I'm audible, so I don't just start talking to myself. Can we hear me? Mr. Chris, can you confirm if you can hear me so that we do not take too much time? Can anyone hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. So like Mr. Chris rightly said, the one of our strengths at Assetra is strategic partnerships. And if you look at it in recent time, the new competitive advantage is actually collaboration. And that's what we have done with our numerous partnerships with industry leaders, technical experts, and strategic partners across the industry and even outside the industry. We visited the Nigerian Institute for Oil Palm Research last week, and it was an experience that um, is out of this world, right? Like the GMD said while we were on our visit there, he said if you think nothing works in Nigeria, then you should visit NIFO. This is an 82-year-old um, indo- um, uh, institute that is still functioning, and it's doing a lot that nobody is even actually hearing about. And we were even telling them that why are you not shouting? Why are you not making noise about this? All of these things that you're doing, and it was so eye opening. We went through. We met with their chief executive officer. That's in the person of Dr. Gold, who has been within that institute for 33 years. A lot of experiences were shared. We went through all of their value chains from seed production to their nurseries to their biotech lab. It was so interesting and so amazing, so fascinating that I didn't even know that we could do such things in Nigeria. So they have a biotech lab that uh, can do a lot of things, and we were just wowed by what we saw. Went through their engineering section, where we saw how they turned some waste product in oil, from I think from the shell to biodiesel to biofuel, and a lot of amazing things that we have not even explored. We went through their fully automated, their semi-automated oil milling machines. Their automated machine is a 6 ton per hour uh, milling plant that is still functioning since 1982. It was so surprising that it still functions, and that's to show that they have very good maintenance culture, and that's the kind of partner that we have at Asset Rise. This is to tell you that the opportunities are too much, right? Currently, we're just scratching the surface of domestic and a little bit of industrial uses for palm oil, but there's so much to be done. For the industrial, you have a lot of industry uses for oil palm where you can turn CPO to other products, where you can turn CPK to other products, where you can do a whole lot of things in the value chain. And it was so eye opening that it has even made us more advanced in terms of our expertise because we've been able to see some of the things that they do and some of the techniques that they also use. I can also announce to you that our partnership has been deepened because they are going to be giving us a lot of more technical support than we had in the past, which was basically for seedling, raising, and supply. But now they are giving us a whole range of other services because we've been able to deepen our relationship with them. So, for you that you might be on this call and you're thinking, what next for Asset Rise? Is my money secured? Is the oil palm plantation secured? This partnership alone should put your mind to rest because it would interest you to know that NIFOR or Nigeria has the highest or has the most biodiverse growth in the world. It means that all all the species or properties and it was a lot of technical jargon that I can't really explain. But what I'm just trying to tell you is that the Nigerian oil palm industry is so loaded that we have not even started, and the opportunities are boundless. So currently, we have over 3 million hectares of uncultivated land in Nigeria, and these are things that these are $1 billion opportunities. And with that visit, we are more resolute to ensure that we give even better value to our stakeholders and also strengthen the hold of agro real estate within the economy, because it's the new frontier, and we are going to ensure that we maintain that deepen that impact. So thank you very much. We're going to have the videos circulated. We are done with some of the editing, but it was a fantastic experience. And if I had my way, I would have said everyone that is connected to Asset Rise should come and let's go for a retreat at 9-4. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris. You can continue. Thank you.
Wow, that was fantastic. Yeah, we will go there some other time. I'm sure that with the scale of of the project right now, 9-4 will be at our beck and call for visit again. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you everyone. And we have come to the main segment of the webinar, and I'm honored to have to introduce our facilitator for today. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the story of the GMD making a presentation to the UK House of Lords and the resultant partnership. And our facilitator today at the is at the top of that partnership. I have the honor and pleasure to introduce to us today. We'll be talking about international opportunities, a market for Africa's agro-real estate, the person of Mr. Nick. Mr. Nick is the CEO of Bain Group, and let's make welcome Mr. Nick, who will take us on today's webinar. Thank you so much, sir. We are itching to hear you, sir.
Hello. Hope you're all right. Thanks. I've just been listening to you guys. So can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry I wasn't available on the 7th, but obviously communicating with Rotimi, I have a clear understanding of the opportunities. But also, just to give you a background, it's not really BEM. Well, we're a company, but let's put that to one side. It's what's going on at the moment globally. So the UK, as you know, and other parts of the world are, all desperate for investment. And obviously the UK has a strong Nigerian community and a relationship with Nigeria as well. In terms of my background, I've worked with the UK government for many decades, and I helped establish partnerships in the UK, in India, in China, and in the UAE. And obviously, some of the things said on the discussion about collaboration networks is so important. But also, what's important is having people who are on the ground locally and understand the local situation, the local needs, as there are huge opportunities in every part of the world. Africa, the UK. I mean, even the UK, we've put together a multi-billion-pound fund because, believe it or not, the UK is struggling for housing. So the problem for housing in the UK is a multi-trillion-pound problem. So we have many people waiting for houses. But working with trusted networks, because again, if we look at it from a money point of view, to make things happen, there needs to be serious investment. And that investment is in the infrastructure, that being the distribution, being the roads, rail, air. And we do that in the UK, we do that abroad, and we work with, again, top companies in India, China, and the UAE. And not through intermediaries, direct to the decision makers, fund managers, and also the parties that provide those resources. In terms of Asset Rise and their work over many, many years, it's clear to see the value in the agriculture, the palm oil, and also the real estate, because obviously as something grows, it benefits the economy, it creates jobs, it creates so much as long as it's done properly. So where I am at the moment, we are very active in a few places in Africa. We took partners into Uganda, into Kenya. I have a meeting tomorrow because I didn't realize there's a couple of African countries that don't have milk, and producing milk for the local community and for distribution is also very important. But where I'd like to go, and obviously over time, is we have people, companies, even the UK government does provide funding, but that is based around the credibility of the local people and the projects that are presented to the government. So I work with all the parties in the UK government, Conservative, Labour, Liberal, and obviously the recent rise of the Reform Party. But UK politics will keep out of this. But at the end of the day, you have to work with the political parties because they have influence in policy and they have influence over areas. Going back to Nigeria, we're very excited to look at the opportunities, support Asset Rise, and start to bring in the right backing that accelerates the great work that's been done. So obviously securing more land, two, obviously increasing agriculture around the world, in Africa, in India, and a lot of places. A lot of produce is created and wasted because it cannot be distributed. So obviously infrastructure again is massive again in terms of refrigerated warehousing, production, packaging. And in the UK, we have a demand ourselves. So we're an island and we fly goods in from all over the world and we truck them in through over the world. We also have a problem because of the UK airports can't accommodate all the ports. So there's a constant growth to increase our capacity to take more goods from different parts of the world as well. So we're working with some major distribution companies, again, that supply airports, that supply planes, that supply ships, and actually work on developing the distribution from one point to another. So this is all very exciting, and how this is applied, as one of the guys, Demiji, was saying in terms of the legal security, that needs to be very clear because investment needs to be secured and needs to be backed by whatever level of investments going in, whether it's a small amount, which is very important as well, the small investments by individuals, the medium investments to large from landowners, to the large institutional funds that are available, but they are only available with the right legal infrastructure in place and the right organisations in place. And then the second thing is obviously everything we do in our world has a financial model. So going back to again about having apps that give you information on your investments, on your properties. Obviously, there's a huge advancement in AI now, and people who I work with are far more experienced and qualified than me. But it's actually quite frightening the level of technology coming onto the market that enables the transparency and visible viewing of investments and securities. So there's a positive move in systems and apps, and it's just understanding how they are operated and are they regulated and how your investment is secured, which again, I'm sure all of that is provided as well. And then anything you do is about the legal agreement in place. Again, doesn't matter on size, and we're happy to assist. And again, we go into Africa. In the UK, it's easy to raise money because it doesn't matter whether we're good at what we do. The UK has a strong covenant in terms of ratings for investment. So getting money into the UK is very easy. Getting money into Africa is becoming more easy because the growth in Africa in various countries is great. And Nigeria has a long history of working with many people around the world as well. And again, it's all about the relationship with companies like AssetRise and also with the local people and also the political area controls as well. So we are very excited about moving forward. We understand how all sectors work. We want to support Africa. Also, things like data centers. Africa is now embarking on a program of creating their own data storage and not being reliant on other people. Africa is very much focused on Africa, and that's a good thing. And we have organizations wanting to support that, build data centers purely for Africa, and store the data which backs up the growth in technology, applications, data capture, and information. And most countries now have a very clear program for that. And we have partners that will fund, implement. With a data center, one, it needs energy, and everything needs energy. And again, when we put things together, the energy partners are important as well, because a data center takes a lot of energy, and you can support that with solar farms. You can support that through various different means, wind, hydro, loads of technologies, and also storing energy now. So whatever you create can be stored. So many countries have issues, again, including the UK, have issues with energy. We have a grid that is struggling in peak time and then has a need to be supported via storing energy. So if you create energy via sun, what happens when the sun goes down? It gets stored during the day onto very efficient battery technology. Supporting large organizations in remote areas is very much part of energy now. And the beauty of today's world is that technology's moved on, so every solution can support. Now, last week, my business partners were in China, and people say various things about China. I don't have a problem with China because they want to get things done. And also, they're a lot further ahead than other people and other countries. So we go to China to look at the best technology direct from the factories and how we get that at the right price and distribute it around the world. So that, again, the the best products are secured at the best price without middlemen. And then we can deploy them on projects and make sure that they have the energy and support. Again, going to agriculture with refrigerated warehouses, going to villages to have light and heating. With data centers, again, they create a lot of heat. So again, it's utilizing the heat in the way that you develop property. In terms of property, we deliver massive sites from a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand properties. And again, technology has moved forward. Around the world now, modern methods of construction, which is panel houses, not modular blocks, but panel houses is the way forward where you can manufacture them. We work with a major group in India. We work with China, and we're also setting up a major factory in the UAE to support their massive need for housing as well. But looking at the growth of housing in Africa, quality housing, it's not cheap housing. It's building the right quality housing. We have the network and the people there. So all of these things are available. And to support Asset Rise and Nigeria, we are very eager, very excited, and have a trust in what we've seen and our relationship with Asset Rise. And we look forward to working very closely in all projects to assist in several things. One, aligning them to the right people around the world that can bring in their expertise and their support. Two, bring in the large-scale money. As we said here, there's loads of land there, but it's how to best utilize the land to grow the right products that have a sustained buyer. So again, when you create anything, it's about, obviously, is there a buyer, and is that buyer secure, and will they commit to the long-term future of that supply chain? And that is actually working with the supply chain, not taking advantage of it. Because again, quality products, paying people the right amount of money, paying the right amount for products, means that that local economy will benefit greatly. Taking advantage of it, it doesn't. And we as a company and the network that I represent, so going back to BEM, that's just one organisation of many that we now have around the UK, India, UAE, and China to deliver and support many, many projects. Obviously, I'm the CEO, but I have partners who are very experienced in all their areas. And again, that deals with central government in the UK, both the House of Lords and the Commons, and global markets and banks in the UK. One of the partners we work was responsible for all of Africa for Barclays Bank. So again, these people know exactly what is available, and then other organisations that are already active and supplying solutions for Africa. So a lot to take in, and thank you for inviting me onto your webinar. I will do my best to support in any area I can, and I will work very, very closely with Asset Rise to support what they need to do and move forward and bring people to the party. That's it, really. That's my little bit.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nick. If you were in Nigeria, I will call you Chief Nick or Dr. Nick.
I'm not a chief.
Thank you.
Old
Thank you.
Nick. I'm old.
Yeah, you're a chief now, so we'll give you a chief. That's the nice in Nigeria. So thank you. It's been a very awesome journey with Nick, all from the House of Lords till date. A lot of documentation, a lot of processes, a lot of alignment, trying to make us get aligned with international funding. And it's been a lot. I mean, we appreciate your mentorship. We appreciate the structure and the systems you have been trying to help us get right so we can attract foreign funding. And that's why we want a lot of Nigerians in diaspora to be able to hear from you and see the objectiveness of what we are doing with BEM Group. BEM Group is a big company. You didn't want to talk about that, but I know you have some couple of projects. You discussed the Maslow airfield or the airport. And specifically, that's been a marketing point for us, especially to our government. I will be at the Ondo State Economic Summit tomorrow, one of the states in Nigeria, invited by the governor. And the outlook is simple. Agriculture is the main thing that Nigeria have to offer to the world aside crude oil now. So we want to be able to develop agriculture in a large scale and then be able to export our agro produce with value addition. So like we have spoken about, value addition will come with warehousing, refrigerating, energy, and so many. And so the government and our investors are yearning to see, oh, how can we do this better? How can we structure this better? So one of the campaigns we've had recently is about the sustainable integrated productive communities to support rural urbanization. But in this look, it's going to be a full-fledged agro-smart city where you have production going on, residential going on, energy in education running, and it's a full city movement that is supporting productivity with agriculture. So if you want to speak to that a bit, how you think both from foreign funders, how this whole SIPC idea can be realized better in Africa. Thank you.
It's the same as any place. You have land, or people will come with land, and it's best how you utilize that land. So obviously the growth in agriculture is important for Nigeria, for neighboring countries to Nigeria, and to the global market. So the land that you develop for palm oil and for other products is really important. So we have a very clear demand for various products in the UK, but also in China, also in India, where people want to buy those products. So we can bring those to the table. In terms of the creating the city that you've shared right from the outset, you know, that becomes your master plan and how that dovetails. So you have done amazingly well to grow where you are today in both the agriculture and the real estate. But to really accelerate it, it's the full detailed plan. So, you know, we can grow more if we invest this amount of money. But to invest this amount of money means that we've got to create the infrastructure of the refrigerated warehouses. We have to create and take on more employees. So again, that then links to the housing, but then paying people, again, as part of that supply chain can then lead to the houses going with the employment. So not only are you providing people with work, you're providing them with a house. And then the bigger that gets, it's all the other things that you've got to provide, the medical support, the schooling, the education. And that's another massive thing around the world. You know, believe it or not, the UK has a massive skill shortage at the moment. You know, because we were so reliant on Europe, we had open borders, we were fulfilling our needs, but the UK was negligent in training people, and we're talking for the last 30, 40 years. So in certain skills, we have huge shortage. That's not in technology. This is in construction. This is in hospitality. This is in medical. This is, you know, in agriculture. So these lessons learned are very important. It's about creating jobs. Also, listening to you about forming partnership with universities is very important, because obviously universities benefit from research. They also benefit from training and educating people. And for me, you know, I've met so many amazing people now who are catching up with the UK, because the UK has a good education system. But if you look at places like India, there's two things that they look at: education and health. And it's no surprise where anywhere you go now in the world, there's usually an Indian person, because they're educated and they're entrepreneurial and they want to travel and they want to get on. But they also are investing heavily in their own country, like Africa. Africa, for the UK and for everyone, is seen as a future global economy, strong because of what's happening now. And that means the foundations to what you're doing. So what you're doing can be supported based on the local, the regional, the national, and the international markets. So we just need to bring in at the right level, and I have the right parties who understand and are excited about Africa for the right reasons, not to exploit, but to actually work in a true partnership, which is where which we've said the right legal models are in place. You have to have people who are on the ground in control of their projects. We can bring in resource to assist, but ultimately you will grow that skill set yourself to deliver it. So in terms of moving forward on the agricultural side, there's a huge demand, and over the next few months, you will meet more of the parties who understand Africa, have funds, want to invest. And obviously, we need to just make sure that everything we do is very clear and underpinned, which I know you've been working really hard to do. And then again, in the UK, we I think I told you there's a couple of airports that we're involved in, and the growth is not passenger flights. The growth is cargo. The growth is bringing in products. So, and that's via the ports as well. So, UK is not a huge country, compared to Nigeria. I think Britain is, let's say, was 75 million. But obviously, we still have a demand. We still can align to the right people, and we can utilise a quality product that is being produced by Nigeria, and vice versa. The exchange of people, because as I said, in certain parts there's a strong community in parts of the UK. We can create that exchange as well of people coming to the UK, getting into various roles and even education and moving forward. So it all needs to be planned, and we are planning it. And I know you've done a hell of a lot. And this is where now we're at the right time, because there is an appetite to invest massively in Africa, but not just, Africa for Africa's sake, working with the right people, the right areas, doing the right things. And then housing and delivering that infrastructure, there's various ways to support that. And there has been bad experiences, but that's because the detail wasn't invested in putting those agreements together. So, people come in, sign an agreement, and then realise that, they could have had a better agreement further down the line. But again, we have various legal models around the world that now work, because many people have been exploited by many different organisations and different countries. But all of that knowledge is available, and you have the expertise and the understanding to control that as well. And let's focus on the grassroots, which is the front line. How do we do more work? How do we produce more goods? And how do we implement a master plan that in 30, 40 years, way after I'm here, I'll be gone. But for the legacy of other people, is something really special. And you only do that by doing it in proper stages and having the right support. And that support is now available.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a lot in a short explanation. Doing it right, putting in the right structures, alignment with international funding, and most importantly, Africans investing in Africa. I mean, like the Indians invested back in India. And today, the Indian economy is one of the biggest economy in the world now because Indians have learned to invest back in India. And thank you. We believe that we're going to take our relationship forward, and we hope to see you very soon in Nigeria and take you to the farm.
If I have to get on a boat, I'll sail there. It'll take a couple of weeks, but at least I can work on the boat. I'll work and make my way to see you. No, I definitely want to come over. But also, I just want to bring the right people to the table because no one wants the wrong people. But if you get involved with the wrong people, it's very difficult to extricate yourself from those relationships. You want the right people supporting your organisation, and you're so far advanced now. For me, it's very straightforward, and we need to get on, and that's what I'm committed to doing and helping.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nick. We appreciate your time this evening, and we hope to get along with you and get things right and bring funds to Africa.
Yeah, 100%. You take care.
Thank you.
You know, again, I apologise for not being there on the 7th.
Thank you. We missed you, but you've paid back now.
No, I need to bring the people, which again, I want to see things happen. And networking is so important, you know, but networking with the right people. So for me, you have to network, and that's what you are doing, and that's what you're doing. People in the UK, there's some very positive people, but that's to facilitate the right people to come to the table. They were going to put all the support that you need. But again, going back to that, you know, we can do it in the stages, and we can achieve the vision because you are anyway. We just need to accelerate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No
worries.
We
appreciate it. Thank you. So I'll be on the phone some other time. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I think a lot of us will have had questions, but I didn't want to take his time. Nick is a very big man. I mean, a lot of support from him to Asset Rise, facilitating funding for the agro smart city in Adudota. And we needed to bring his face to bear because, you know, it's talk is cheap. And we want to see that we are aligning with international funding, especially with the oil palm industry. The whole thing with the EURD, the whole thing with the ROSPO. The EURD is a UK policy against deforestation. And the ROSPO is some policies that have come together with bodies who have come together to see how our produce can be accessible anywhere in the world without us, or with us aligning with the requirements of deforestation and quality management for everything that we produce. And with all those boxes ticked, we are able to attract a lot of foreign investments into agriculture in Nigeria, in Africa. And why is it important? Why is it important that we have this webinar this evening? The funding that is required to bring Africa agriculture to the place of global relevance is massive. We need well over $1 trillion invested in agriculture. We were at NIFO and the conversation was amazing. To set up a 6-ton per hour mill alone, I think last week we were in contact with a company in Belgium, and they were setting up a 6-ton per hour mill, and that is costing over $4.5 million to get it done. So these are reasons why we say that, don't think small when you are thinking of agriculture. The global economy understands what it means to expand your investment appetite. And it is right time Africans begin to understand investing back in Africa, just like the Indians, just like the Pakistans. But the common line is trust. And trust is not an ambiguous word. Trust is an action word. It simply means that everything should be done transparently and done right. And that is not a promise note to you. It means if Asset Rise says we are planting 4,000 hectares, demand the documentation from us. For all that we have done with Nick, with BEM Group, and with the relationship from the House of Lords, it has been a lot of documentations. I can bet you that if you beat the documentation to meet international funding, then your company is global. So and that is the thick line that makes trust. If you can provide relevant documentations to get funded by international government or even by local banks. So what are we saying? Scale up your capacity to investing back in Nigeria, in Africa. There is a lot that the world needs that we can offer. And that is greatly resident in agriculture. Our agricultural market or potential is not yet tapped at 1%. At nightfall, we're discussing the market for coconuts, and it is crazy. We're going to be speaking a little bit about the coconut market. It is crazy. Crazy. So the oil palm market is massive, the coconut market, the date palm. So nightfall has about 6 mandates: dates, oil palm, coconut, share tree, and all these cash crops are massive global investments. You can imagine the worth of the share tree and the share button. And then by the learning, we're told that date palm is the craziest. The wealth potential from 1 hectare alone, you can be making well over 30, 50 million naira. And we were amazed. But how come Africans are not discovering these great potentials that is lying fallow in their continent? And then we still run to other countries to become something else. And that is the conversation we need to start having about Africans investing back in Africa. But number one, from the place of knowledge, just like we are going after every knowledge that is required. Number two, from the place of strategic partnerships. Today, we have signed several MOUs with Nigeria Society of Engineers, Nigeria Institute for Oil Palm Research, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, because the knowledge that is required to power this agricultural revolution is not a one-man thing. It's not my idea. It's something that needs institutional backup. And that's why we partner with institutions that are long age. Nightfall, like Dimeji said, is over 87 years and still functioning and still performing to their mandate. And I can bet you, I said at the summit, at the retreat, if you think nothing is working in Nigeria, then visit Nightfall. You will be amazed that a company of, an institute of 87 years is still fulfilling its mandate to every core. But what am I trying to say? Expand your investment horizon in agriculture, but do that from the place of absolute knowledge. Do that from the place of absolute documentation that will safeguard you and your investment. And for us, the dynamics we have brought into this with agro-real estate is that you can own a large asset portfolio that is agricultural and then it's real estate. And with this, you own a dual investment sword that can give you massive wealth opportunity into the future. And how do we mean? You imagine owning an hectare of oil palm or coconut or date or share tree, and then the land is appreciating, agriculture is being done on it, and you are amassing a lot of revenue or wealth from your land. So to our international audience, we are glad that you are able to join us tonight, but please, beyond joining us, call in and let's have this discussion to how it benefits you. Let's have the discussion to how we can structure your SPV, your special purpose vehicle, in strategic investment in Africa and in Nigeria in agriculture. Every details that you need to confirm, send your lawyers, send everybody to confirm it before dropping a dime anywhere. Not for just asset rights, but anywhere that you need to drop a dime, you need to have all the clarity. And with all that said, there's something new we're going to be bringing to the market. So special, and the wealth potential is huge. And that is our latest product that is sticking. But you better get ready for it, because we are always positioned to make sure that agro-real estate is done right and it's done profitably. But I will keep that for now. We'll keep that unveiling for now. We want to be done with a phase 9, like we have promised, that the SPV for phase 9, I mean, the deal room for phase 9 is going to be ending today, but you can still subscribe to phase 9, your 1 acre, your 1 hectare, but it's going to be subscribed at the price without the discount. So you have not made that decision to get into the deal room. You still have this evening to click, call in, make your reservation, and own unit of phase 9. Phase 9 is specially designed as a corporate asset. I mean, it's a corporate asset. 70 persons owning a 1,000 hectares oil palm plantation, simple to manage, detailed to manage. And then with these 70%, we're going to structure their SPVs either individually or for group or for family trust fund. And then their agro instruments can appreciate while they are creating wealth, I mean, passively. So the phase 9 is still on. You can still take the benefit of that. And for those of us who are also keen into phase 8, Ewekoro is still driving very good. And this, by April, massive allocation is coming up. And massive plantation, I mean, planting season is coming up also. And we are ready to say that in March, you're going to be saying something else. Very great. Just keep your eyes on the watch. And just like Nick has spoken to us, the market is huge. The potential is big. But the gap is that Africans need to learn to invest in Africa. Nigerians need to learn to invest in Nigeria. That is the way India today is now a global economy. Indians invested back in India. They grew their economy. They acquired the right skills. And today, almost everywhere in the world, you find India's taking over. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your time this evening. Please keep the video. Don't expose it yet. Keep the video. It's something unique coming up. We want to be done with phase 9 before we bring it up. Just keep the video for now. Thank you. But I can tell you, if you're ready to create very enduring wealth, very sustainable wealth, and passive without headache, with biological assets, then get ready to be on the trail with Asset Rise Limited. Thank you so much. And over to you, Mr. Chris.
I just wanted to speak to the Morocco trip. Esteemed customers can also benefit and qualify for the trip. All you just need to do is to refer a client, a friend or a family member. Just refer someone who can subscribe to a minimum of 30 acres of the phase 9, and you can be in Morocco with us. That's the offer for our customers, for tribe members for the Morocco trip. Just refer someone to subscribe to minimum of 30 acres of the Palm Ridge phase 9, and then you are on your way to Morocco. Thank you. Chidera. Hello, Chidera, where are you?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, I'm done. I just explained the qualification metrics for customers for Morocco. All our consultants, they know how they're going to qualify already. Some have qualified. But if you want to be on a trip, you are a customer, you are a tribe member, all you need to do is refer someone who subscribes to a minimum of 30 acres of the Palm Ridge phase 9. Thank you.